Oh, it's Magic Pull. Hello and welcome to Magic Pull. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different, and basically I'm going to do my own sort of, chaos draft sort of, but it's actually a core set draft. So what I've got is I've got 2 packs of core set 2019, 2 packs of core set 2020, 2 packs of core set 2021, and 2 packs of foundations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically open all these. I'm going to look at the cards in each pack, see what cards we get, anything interesting. Then we'll be dividing them into colours and themes and try and make a usable deck, minus lands obviously, out of these. So basically what I'm looking for is 40 cards out of these packs. So let's have a look and see what we've got, shall we? I'm going to start off with, as soon as I've sorted these out into the piles, first pack of core set 2019. Now, I've always been a fan of the core sets. Just tend to have some really good cards in that are infinitely usable. So, let's have a look what we've got. I don't have a handsome assistant who can, or beautiful assistant, depending on which way you want to look at it, to do this for me. I may edit this bit out just to make the video a little bit more interesting. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go outside a bit, shall we? There we go. Right. So there is our cards. Our rare is the Liliana's Contract. So when Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Interesting card. Also, we've got 2 rares here. Sorry, they're uncommons. The Horizon Scholar and the Ravenous Harpy. So, okay. Any other good cards we've got there? I quite like the 2-headed zombie. Obviously a 4/2 and it's got menace. Excuse me. And then obviously with the skeleton archer there, that would 3 decent cards that we could put together there. And obviously along with the Liliana's Construct. So possibly with the Devil and the Tormenting Voice, we could have ourselves a Rakdos deck, start a Rakdos deck. And then of course we've got the 3 white cards there, which could make the start of a decent white deck, especially because we've also got the Ox. Obviously with this, we could have a white and blue. It's pack number 2. And we've got Goblin Motivator, Trusty Pack Beast, the Rocks Oracle, Macabre Waltz, Havoc Devils, Invoke the Divine, and let's play up Skeleton Archer, Thornhide Wolves, Pegasus Courser, Smelt, Psychic Corrosion, Skyrider Patrol, Gutter Snipe, Amulet of Safekeeping, that's our rare. And then we've got a Meandering River and a Knight. So like I say, the Amulet of Safekeeping is our rare. Whenever you become the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. And creature tokens get -1, -0. So interesting. Obviously, if we're going to, looking at the Rakdos theme that we had in the last deck, so Macabre Waltz, Havoc Devils, Skeleton Archer, Smelt, and Gutter Snipe would work very nicely. Oh, and we've got the Goblin Motivator. So, yeah, we've got some good Rakdos cards, but we've also got some decent white cards as well. So we could continue with our white deck. And we've also obviously the Elf Scout there. So we could go for a green and blue. So, got first pack of 2020. Unless something absolutely incredible turns up. Black and red is looking pretty tasty. So Unholy Indenture, Raise the Alarm, Sage Rose Denizen, Vial of Dragonfire, Duress, Goblin Smuggler. Possible black-red deck going on there. Oh, we've got a Vampire, Blood Burglar. Oh, we've got the Griffin Sentinel as well, haven't we? The Netcaster Spider, Winged Words, Meteor Golem, Renowned Weaponsmith. Oh, we've got Sorin, the Imperious Bloodlord. Oh, well, I think that just really answers the question about what deck we're going to be building, doesn't it? It is going to be, barest minimum, a black deck, if not a black-red deck. At the moment, that's the one that's really hitting it for me. So obviously, apart from Sorin, obviously we've got the Vampire Rogue, the Blood Burglar. As long as it's your turn, Blood Burglar has lifelink. And obviously with Duress and the Unholy Indenture, that's really, yes, it's looking like a good black deck. But with the amount of goblins we're getting, might also be a red deck. So maybe black, red. We'll have to look into that. But my first mythic, Sorin. Let's hope for a Liliana, shall we? That really would make my day. If anybody who's watched any of these videos will know that Liliana is one of my favourite planeswalkers. So, Moat Piranhas, Moorland Inquisitor, the Undead Servant, Reduce to Ashes, Unsummon, Netcaster Spider, Mind Rot, Daggersail Aeronaut, Fire Elemental, Chandra's Spitfire, the Apostle Purifying Light, Overgrowth Elemental. Oh, here's a rare, the Loxodon Life Chanter. So when Loxodon Life Chanter enters the battlefield, you may have your life total become the total toughness of creatures you control. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Tranquil Cove. And then we've got a foil, rare Marauding Raptor. Very nice. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to it. If a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Nice, so full Marauding Raptor. I will be putting values on the screen if any of these are worth anything. Obviously we've got the Elemental. So again, we're still looking at a Rakdos deck because we've got a zombie and then we've got some removals. Then we've got another goblin, so you're not going to throw away a goblin, are you? And then of course you've got a raptor, so your creature cards cost less. And then you've got a couple more of elementals. So, looking pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, white isn't looking too bad as well, but I'm thinking more black-red. Okay, so we're going on to Core Set 2021. Run afoul. Opt. Sanguine Indulgence. Definitely got the vampire thing going on here. We have now, anyway, now we've got Soren. The Honorary Dilophosaur, whatever that is. Ignatius Kerr. Wishcoin Crab. Makeshift Battalion. Defiant Strike. Ooh, Teferi's Protege. That's a unusual bordered card. Revitalize. Tormod's Crypt. Twin Blade Assassins. Oh, the Gormand. Oh, we've got Basri's Lieutenant. Vigilance Protection for multicolored. Ooh. When Basri's Lieutenant enters the battlefield, puts a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever Basri's Lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had +1/+1 counter on it, creates a 2/2 white knight creature with Vigilance. Ooh, very nice. Then we've got a land and a construct. Yeah, obviously not that good for my idea of going black-red, but we do obviously have Sanguine Indulgence, so this spell costs 3 less to cast if you've gained 3 or more life this turn, and return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. That's nice. Got another elemental, obviously, and then obviously we've got our Gormand demon down here. So, you know, we have got some cards that we can add to our deck, but white is looking quite tasty itself, especially in this deck. Core 2021, Pack 2. Right, okay, so we've got a Track Down, Thrill of Possibility, Lofty Denial, Blood Glutton, Radiant Fountain, Run afoul, again, Hunter's Edge, Anointed Chlorister, Swift Response, Teferi's Protege. Ooh, look at that. Sanctum of Shattered Heights. Legendary Enchantment Shrine. Oh, I've never seen that before. Very nice. The Malefic Scythe. The Battle Rattle Shaman. Oh, there's a rare. See the Truth. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. If this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand instead. Okay. Then we've got a Windscarred Crag and another Knight. So, again, not brilliant for my Rakdos deck. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 possible cards. Obviously, we do have a possibility of going Boros. We have got some decent white cards. I mean, we could be going for like a Knight deck, maybe, for white. But again, this is one of those things. Oh, I forgot about the Malefic Scythe. So that's another possibility for a black card as well. So, first Foundations. I really liked Foundations. I wish I'd actually spent more time with Foundations before moving on to the next money-grabbing affair for WotC. But that's just me. So, Luminous Rebuke. Think Twice. Marauding Blight Priest. Firebrand Archer, Bite Down, Spitfire Lagak, Broken Wings, Serra Angel, Dreadwing Scavenger, Savannah Lions. So we've got Exemplar of Light, first rare, very nice angel there. So whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on this creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once per turn. Now, the reason why I held up is because I saw this. Yes, Tiny Bones, the Bauble Burglar. Nice card. So whenever an opponent discards a card, exile it from the graveyard with a stash counter on it. During your turn, you may play cards you don't own with stash counters on them from exile, and mana of any type can be spent to cast these spells. And then you've got the 3+1 and tap. Each opponent discards a card. Activate only as a sorcery. So Tiny Bones, Bauble Burglar. Then we've got an Elvish Archdruid, another rare foil. What was it? Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Then add 1 mana for each elf you control. Good card. Then we go Windscarred Crag and an art card. So that isn't bad. I mean, we've got at least, what, 4 more cards for my Rakdos deck, but we've also got a few decent cards. I mean, 2 angels, you know, for a white deck. So, oof, we could have a Boros deck here as well. Final pack. What do we get? Another wasted card at the back there. Oh, got another angel. Refute. The Sanguine Siphoner. Goblin Surprise. Lanabor Elves. Wary Thespian. Vampire Soul Caller. Strongbox Raider. Affectionate Indrik. Self-Reflection. Ashroot. Oh, that's a rare, sorry. So Ashroot Animist. Lizard Druid. And another rare. Got the Seer Slicer Goblin. Think twice again in foil. And an island. And an art card. So, 2 vampires. I think we know where this is going. And goblins. So I think we're going to be going for... Well, I think it's going to be a Rakdos vampire goblin zombie skeleton deck. But we've also got a few angels as well. So we'll be having a look at... So here are our white cards. We've got... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 white cards, which includes 1, 2, 3 angels. So there's always a good start. Then soldiers, we've got 1, 2, so 2 soldiers. Then we've got some knights. We've got 2 knights there. We've got some cats. We've got some beasts. We've got some flyers. We've got some create tokens. We'd have, what, 1, 2, 3 rares. So that would be a fairly decent start. I mean, we've got some more token creation there. We've got life gain. What else we've got? We've got some removal. We've got some make things cheaper. We've got plenty of flying. So that, oh, and that one I've just noticed, we've got protection from black. So that would be quite handy. So yes, that would be a good start of a white deck. Maybe a human angel with allies deck. But yes, there's some nice cards there like that. So let's look at blue. So here's our blue cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 blue cards because it's 2 of them. So obviously if you went for commander, that would only be 16 cards. But there are some fairly big hitters in here. I mean, when you look at things like the Horizon Scholar, 4/4 flying, you can't complain about that. But honestly, except for a bit of sort of... Ooh, I mean, that's good. Self-reflection. Create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control. That could always also be handy. I suppose if you're going to go for like a white-blue deck, I suppose. You know, you got plenty of humans in here, so that would work well. And yeah, I suppose a white-blue deck would actually go down all right. But I'm not really a blue player, so none of this really flicks my switch, apart from that one. Yeah. But there's blue. Let's look at black. So here's the black selection. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've got 20 black cards, not as many as the white cards, obviously. But we have got some heavy hitters. Obviously, we've got Sorin and we've got Tiny Bones. So we've got a potential commander deck there with Tiny Bones. But we've got the combo. The Marauding Blight Priest and the Sanguine Siphoner. And obviously the Sanguine Siphoner is whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Whereas this one says, whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. So, yeah, you've got a nice little combo there, haven't you? So, click, 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 click. We've got plenty of other vampires, so that you've got a bit of synergy going on. So you've got a lifelink vampire there, and you've got the Blood Burglar, obviously. You've got more lifelink there, so again, you're still going to be going with this card, adding more life and taking away more life and stuff like that. You've got some discards, got some reveal, you've got some flying, menace, some return from the graves, make things a bit cheaper. Yes, I like pretty much everything that is on this table right now. So, yes, I'm happy with that, especially because Sorin and Tiny Bones, two very good cards. So, let's look at red. So here's the reds. Obviously, we've got a decent number of reds here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So essentially the combination between black and red would give me the amount, well, I've actually got 21, so I've got 2 of them, but that would give me the amount of cards I need to make a Rakdos deck. But this one obviously would be quite good. I mean, we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goblins themselves, plus obviously the goblin surprise. So, you know, we have got some fun goblin shenanigans. We've got some elementals. We've got a dinosaur, an orc, obviously. Orcs go with goblins, they really should. Then we've got some devils. So, you know, we've got a decent amount of varying cards that do an awful lot. Yes, and could be quite interesting to go along with the black deck. I mean, if you look, I mean, Gut Snipe, you know, whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery spell, Gut Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent. So when you put that in with like the vampires that you know, lose life, gain life, lose life, that sort of thing, you know, you got more life loss there for them. Yeah, and reduced ashes deals 5 damage. You know, so there are some very good cards in there for a decent Rakdos deck, as well as obviously some cards that bring out some tokens. So yes, there's the red deck. And here's our green cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 green cards. It's a decent spread. We've got some fairly decent cards here, I suppose. I mean, you've got the Druid of Horns to create a 3/3 beast tokens. Obviously, you've got the Elvish Druid for +1/+1 on elves. Llanowar elves for more mana. Yeah, you know, I mean, we've got the little dinosaur here with Death Touch. We've got a Reach. So there's some fairly decent cards there for you know, a potential green deck. Not the best cards you could ask for, but yeah, there's some potential there. So let's look at the multicolors. Right, so here's the multicolors. We've got 4 of them: Skyrider Patrol, the Twin Blade Assassins, the Dreadwing Scavenger, and the Ashroot Animist. Yeah, okay. Nothing massively amazing there. I suppose if I was going to make an elf deck, these 2 would come in handy, but obviously they're too many different colours for my liking. But yeah, there's the multicolours. And colourless, we've got the Amulet of Safekeeping, the Meteor Golem, the Vial of Dragonfire, and Tormod's Crypt. Obviously, the Vial of Dragonfire would go quite well in a black red deck. I mean, this deals damage, so if you sacrifice it. So yeah, that would be a handy thing to have. And obviously, if you're going to go for a zombie type deck, you can go for that, I suppose. But all it does is exile cards from a target player's graveyard. But yeah, that makes it worthwhile having anyway, because it's a 0 mana. Nice. Okay. So let's have a look at my preferred deck. So here would be my preferred option for a deck. We've got a nice decent amount of creatures there, which do a nice decent amount of interesting things. We've got some sorceries, not as many as I'd usually like, but we've got some. We've got a few instants, which again, not as many as I'd usually like, but there we go. We've got some enchantments. Obviously, we've got some artifacts, and of course, we've got a planeswalker. So, you know, for me, that would be, you know, if I was in my gaming club given 8 packs and said make a deck, this would be my preferred choice, simply because there's some, you know, there is actually some good synergy in all this. So yeah, for me, this would be the preferred option. And honestly, I don't know how well it would do. I mean, we've got some fairly decent yeah, we've got some fairly decent sort of mana ramp going up there. So yeah, I'd be happy to turn up and play this deck, and I think it would probably be fairly fun. Let's look at the second option. And here would be my second option. Again, this is actually a fairly interesting selection. Obviously, we don't have as many sorcerers, but we've got plenty of instants. The creatures are the interesting ones, because obviously we've got the angels, we've got the knights, we've got soldiers, but we've also got things that bring out tokens of soldiers and knights, and you know, we've got plenty of damage there. And obviously I brought out the Firebrand Archer because it's a human, why wouldn't you? So this again would be another possibility of a deck. So from these 8 packs, you know, for me, there are 2 decks here that I would build, and I'd probably have fairly good fun playing with them. If you like what you've seen and you want to see more, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.